Hello there everyone, this is Jessica, and welcome to Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars, the director's cut. Now then, some of you may know that I have, a fair while ago now, done 9 parts of Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars, the original one. I stopped doing that because I got a new laptop, and for some reason, I've got 2 different versions. Broken Sword just wouldn't install, but now I noticed on Steam they got Broken Sword, and it's the director's cut, and apparently there is whole new things at the beginning. Otherwise I would have just got to where I was off screen and continue, but apparently there's new stuff involving you get to play as Nico at the beginning, so I thought I'd start again. If any of you have seen the first 9 parts, obviously some of it will be repeated, just skip it or watch it again if you want. That would be brilliant. So enough of me talking. For now, let's select new game. See what is different. Very curious to know.
Paris. City of love, romance and dreams. So they say. I used to say it too. But ever since that day, the day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death. I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royale now. You got an interview. With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home. He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so very apt. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe. He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away. Here I was, the palace of the Media King and the Ice Queen. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events which would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Madame Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation. Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty? You're too kind, madame.
Ah, the talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon, I am honored.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father? He never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must... Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another Ming vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment, my dear girl.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no cat.
God, what? Monsieur Carchon! He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mime. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top of my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Coulard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer.
We all know cops are idiots. Alright, well, that was certainly a different opening, and as you can see, we are Nico. With the mouse pointer on screen, discover areas of interest, which will be indicated by an animating circle. Okay. Just want to have a look at some settings. I'll be right back. Alright, let's see. It's quite different. Okay, let's have a look at the body. That's what you do first, right?
Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime. I'd come across this murderer before, and written about him. The costume killer, at least that's what I'd called him.
There's like a complete outlined square around his head, anyway. Look at this clip.
It was one of my hair clips. My favourite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down.
Terrific. Alright.
I closed his eyes. It was the least I could do for the poor fellow.
Okay. I don't actually like the fact that these circles turn up. Like, that's too much help, you know? But yeah, whatever.
Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend. In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence. There was no going back now.
Anything else to do with the
Carchon had been shot.
No shit, Sherlock. Okay. Just leave his face alone. Nothing in the crotch area, no? I think that might be it. Bit of CSI style going on. And that'll be the hole that we saw get cut with the glass.
A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job.
Handles. Hang on there.
The killer must have used a ladder to reach the window. He was long gone. Guess he folded that ladder up, popped it in his pocket and took it with him.
Well, in these sort of games, as anyone who saw my original Broken content, you can pretty much fit anything into your pants in a 2D game.
The bookcase was filled with obscure first editions.
Bust. He's got a bust of himself.
A bust of Pierre Carchon, humble servant of La France.
I suppose the blue things do ultimately help. You not waste too much time. Is that a bust of him again or someone else?
Pierre Carchon again. His eyes seemed to follow me around the room.
Just get a bust of yourself. Vanity, I suppose.
The police could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them.
Okay. Look at the table.
A Louis XIV table with an antique cloth. Imelda had taste. But hey, with a husband that rich, taste is easy.
Right, guys, I'm pretty sure you've noticed sounds jumping around a bit. I'm going to try and sort that out. So, as far as you're concerned, I'll be back in literally half a second. Hang on a second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. Just checking on sound quality, and hopefully this is actually recording. So we'll give it a whirl, see what happens. I want to pick up.
I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful.
Ooh, a hole.
Even my fingernail wouldn't fit into such a small hole.
Well, I have. So using inventory, click on item, hold the mouse button. Okay. As I suspected, I have a click. There we go.
Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff.
Hell yeah, girl. Pick up the tool.
Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming.
Yeah. Anyone's rude to you and you're in the house, go stealing stuff. Learn that lesson. So look, some painting.
Imelda had talent, but I certainly wasn't going to tell her that.
Well, hopefully if this is recording, I personally think, at least sound-wise,
It was a tube
Not
of
jumping around.
acrylic paint. French ultramarine. Just the colour I was after for my bathroom.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
ransacking your house.
Young lady, what are you doing?
Oh, this paint. It's my favorite color.
For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
Oh, it's gone now. Certainly very different with the big gold faces. So I did pick it up then.
The tube of paint from Imelda.
Okay. I'm gonna use the phone. Let's talk to the Ice Queen.
Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
Ooh, pictures. Alright, if I was her, I would first ask about her husband.
I am so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not true.
We shall see.
Right. Who's that?
How did your husband know my father?
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Thierry Collard?
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know, most of them women.
Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss?
I have no idea. His business was his business.
He never told you anything.
No, and frankly, I preferred it that way.
Mime.
Why would a mime want to kill your husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronize me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Of course I do.
Yes, that's why I do this job.
You do it to see your name in print.
As if my editor gets the byline, I just do the work.
Well, don't expect my sympathy.
The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends?
No, I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife. That was my role. He never talked, never let me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Why? How do I know I can trust you?
Well, I'm not gonna go. You can trust me because I'm an evil bitch. Because I have a pretty crown.
Your husband invited me here today because he needed me. I think he knew somebody wanted to kill him, and he knew I could help.
I doubt it was your database he was after.
You're wrong. I was onto his killers already, I am sure of it. Please, you owe it to him.
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
You really do have a moral sense, don't you? I trust so few people. And perhaps Pierre really did think that you could help. Of course it wouldn't have stopped him seducing you too. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find.
Thank you. I promise you won't regret this.
Alrighty, Roo. So that will be the key to the room that was down here, I guess. Keep walking, Nicole. Okay, I guess I've got to select the damn thing on door.
Now we were getting somewhere.
Yeah, a door. Alright, fancy room, and I can see a circle on the desk straight away. Let's see what's going on.
As expected, the desk was yet another priceless antique. Yawn. The blotter and in tray had clearly been placed with mathematical precision.
Sure. I want to look at the elephant. I can pick up the elephant. Pick it up.
My heart skipped a beat. It was a carved elephant. But not just any carved elephant. It had been made by my father. I knew for certain because in my apartment I had its exact twin, carved into a box he had made. So Carchon had known my father. They really must have been friends. I decided to take the carved elephant. It clearly meant nothing to Imelda.
Sure.
It was a sheet of blotting paper in a leather holder. Its cracked surface looked ancient, reminded me of its owner.
Yeah, same with Gash, I'm going to seduce her. He's not exactly, you know, handsome.
I didn't need a sheet of blotting paper. Not while it was blank.
Hintity hint hint. Gotta put something on there.
I didn't want to take the tray, but I knew that I could use it.
Alright. What have I got? Can I squeezle some paint into... What was that? Whatever.
I didn't want to take the tray, but I knew that I could use it.
I know. I want to put ink on it. There we go. I knew it. Just ruin a tray.
I'd spread blue paint over the bottom of the tray. It was ruined. I was a very bad girl, but also quite a clever one.
Spraying paint around, sure. Okay, so... Cloth, maybe?
No.
Alright, what if I put the cloth onto that?
No.
Huh?
No.
Doing well. Alright, we'll leave that for now. What else have we got in this room? I'm gonna assume this is locked. May as well try.
Locked. Not surprising, really.
Uh-huh. Sofa. Or couch. Or settee. Sorry, settees are bigger.
This wasn't the time for me to lie on this sofa doing my Marie Antoinette impression. Though it is very popular at parties, especially with gay guys. Don't ask me why.
Wasn't gonna. A switch. Switches are always fun.
I didn't need the lights on.
No, it's the light switch, fine.
The painting showed the Carchons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country. Or did I read that in a fortune cookie?
Well, there's a big obvious button if ever there was one.
There was the very faintest of clicks.
Click. It's not very faint. Can you hear it? Wow, what a well hidden
Behind the picture was a safe.
And there's a keyhole. What keys do I have?
It was the wrong kind of key.
That one? There we go. Some sort of stone thing.
There was a strange stone cylinder in the safe. In the safe was some kind of artifact.
There were strange symbols on its surface. It looked like the printer's blocks I'd made at art school. If there was one thing I'd learned about symbols, they are always important. But these symbols scratched into stone were impossible to read. I needed to find a way of printing them. At least the stone was round. But what could I use for ink? And what could I print on? Sure, I was stealing, but I knew Imelda didn't know about the artifact, and Carchon was past carrying.
Shush, 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 I know what I'm doing. Okay, so, let's go back over here. And then, you put that on here. No. Flatten it all out. Like a pancake.
I rolled the artifact in the paint until it was completely coated.
Then, can I combine them?
I wouldn't be able to print straight onto the cloth.
Oh, okay. Why? Put cloth on.
No.
Nope. Wait, no. Did I already try that? Put a cloth onto there?
No.
Heard a walk in. Right, that's there. Okay. Oh, because it is paper. I keep thinking.
Genius! The roller and the paint worked just as I planned. But what did it say?
It says. This.
It was some kind of coded message. It read, "Sub judice." I may not have learned a lot as a journalist, but that was a term I knew well. It means a legal case that is before the courts. Below it was a sequence of letters that made no sense. I suddenly realized there was a connection between the boat ticket and the coded message. The boat ticket was stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. The conciergerie on the Ile de la Cité, by the river, housed the ancient law courts. So, sub judice could in this case mean literally under the law courts, below the conciergerie. I was pretty sure I'd found all I could here. And besides, all this opulence was making me pine for my regular life of poverty. This was a huge story. It was also one heck of a puzzle with a lot of pieces missing. But I was going to crack it. And if I could just remember the name of that fancy prize you get for being an ace journalist, I was definitely going to win it this time.
Alright. Let's get out of here. I should probably talk to what's the doodle noodle face. Can't just leave. The woman is grieving.
Did you find anything useful?
This carving, do you know anything about it?
It was Pierre's. What does the statue have to do with...
Please, I need to know.
He was given it by a friend, something to do with Africa.
He never explained any more.
No, but I think it was important to him, always on display. Why?
It was carved by my father.
Oh, I see. I didn't know.
Imelda, I will do everything I can to find the killer.
Thank you, my dear.
And if the police ask...
Don't worry. You were never here.
Sub judice was the key. I was going to have to find a way under the conciergerie. I decided to head straight for the quayside on the Ile de la Cité. If there was a way of getting under the conciergerie, it would have to be from there.
Go then. Ile de la Cité.
Carchon wasn't the type for messing about on the river. He was up to something down here. Something that got him killed.
Alright guys, I'm going to leave it here once I've looked at this boat, because why not?
An old boyfriend of mine owned a barge once. Dampest relationship I ever had. In every way.
Sure, great. And so yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I've got to check everything's recorded fine and see when I switch the style of recording. If it has even recorded, you might even hear it in this. If you are listening to this. Thank you for watching. Certainly, first and foremost, definitely. Thank you for watching. Please join me for part 2, which I'm sure will be within the next day or two. And I'm just trying to spray a fly at my room. I think I got it. Yeah, distractions. Alright, thanks for watching. Join me for part 2. I've said all that. Please like, please subscribe, and I shall see you very soon. And most importantly of all, have a brilliant, brilliant day. Alright guys, see you later.